whatever today is, we got a great show tonight. Jimmy Fallon is here. You don't have to clap. And so is the jacket he found in a dumpster behind a drug rehab clinic in Queens. Jimmy, he's an inspiration to filth-encrusted hobos snacking on rodent carcasses everywhere. And Andrew Yang is with us for the very first time. See, I told you, Andrew, sending me sexy Polaroids would always pay off. Andrew ran for president and lost, but it still makes him more qualified than Kamala Harris.
Yes.
After Hillary, she's the worst Democrat to ever wear a pantsuit. Andrew, his pantsuits fit like a glove. So what have we learned so far in this dying administration? That when it comes to villains, it's America first, baby. This White House is as repulsed by regular Americans as Brian Stelter is by fruit. As President Biden is greeted as a dear old pal by China's dictator, we learn that the FBI created a threat tag for parents. A threat tag. Sounds like something El Chapo would tie to one of his dead rival's toes. This over alleged menacing statements made against teachers and administrators, according to a Justice Department internal memo. Yeah, damn, those damn internal memos. The next internal memo should say, stop using internal memos. That's why Kat only communicates using lipstick on discarded cocktail napkins. It's how she sends out her Christmas cards. Anyway, the email is alleged proof that federal counterterrorism was being deployed against parents to go after moms and dads the way Andrew Cuomo chases down female staffers. They suggested using the tag EduOfficials to track related threats. EduOfficials. That's a lousy phrase for Wheel of Fortune. By the way, since Biden took office, the price of vowels up 76%. But if you hear someone make up a word like EduOfficials, ban them from your home and your Scrabble league. That's such newspeak that even George Orwell would say, that's a bit much. The email explains, quote, the purpose of the threat tag is to help scope this threat on a national level and provide an opportunity for comprehensive analysis of the threat picture for effective engagement with law enforcement partners at all levels. Okay, let's stop there. That's the word threat 3 times in one sentence. They think if they repeat something enough times, it makes it true. Like a little train saying, I think I can, or me saying that I'm 5'7". The threat orgy continues, quote, we ask that your offices apply the threat tag to investigations and assessments of threats specifically directed against school board administrators, board members, teachers, and staff. They got threat Tourette's. They can't stop saying it, but they can't show the evidence for it. And yet they calmly ask to track citizens like they're ISIS in cardigans and khakis. It's nuts. But to be clear, we don't like people threatening other people, unless it's Kill Meets Barber threatening to quit. But threatening people is wrong. And if you do threaten people, I'll kill you. That's not a threat, it's a promise. Thanks to the Boy Scouts, I can incapacitate you just by using my tongue and a well-placed spork. And then I'll call it restorative justice, because that's what you call threats directed at businesses, police, parents, and anyone else the radical left calls an enemy. We live every day under the constant threat that if things don't go their way, cities will burn. The DOJ is fine with that, but parents asking questions? Who want their voices to be heard? You guys are the real danger, not looters, thugs, and arsonists. To them, a loving soccer mom is more dangerous than an Antifa-made Molotov cocktail. And so now a whistleblower in the Biden administration claims that Attorney General Merrick Garland lied to Congress when he testified that the FBI wasn't targeting parents. Remember that?
I can't imagine any circumstance in which the Patriot Act would be used in the circumstances of parents complaining about their children, nor can I imagine a circumstance where they would be labeled as domestic terrorism.
In agricultural terms, that's called a load of He's about as honest as me filling out a medical form. Garland had said that the DOJ supports the right of parents to complain, but now we know they see complaints as potential threats, and they're using the Patriot Act, once designed to fight terror after 9/11, to fight parents. What's next? A no-fly list for kids who reject CRT? Remember, this all started with the leaked letter from the National School Board Association asking for help in intimidating parents. They've since apologized for the letter, likely because they got caught. I've been there before when I sent that email to Neil Cavuto. Like, that's the first shirtless picture he's seen of me. Don't use company email, that's all I say. Since then, more than half of the country's state school board associations have run from the national group like they're a koala with chlamydia. They do have that. So we're in a weird time where our president has a delightful chat with a leader of a country that may be responsible for the deaths of millions while his enforcement arm goes after moms and dads. Biden doesn't just crap his pants, he craps on parents. Yeah, another poop joke. Are you sick of those poop jokes? We asked tonight's audience to weigh in.
So the question of the night is, are you sick of Greg's poop jokes?
No.
Sir, okay, the poop jokes in the show, too many, too few, not enough.
I'm going to say too many.
All right, sir, do you love the poop jokes or do you hate the poop jokes?
No.
Do we need more, do we need less?
More poop jokes, definitely. More poop jokes.
I want to see more.
Maybe the same.
Do we need more, do we need less?
A little less. That's what I think.
It doesn't. I don't mind more. They're funny.
I love them.
You love them.
Yes.
You want more.
Yes.
There's no such thing as too many poop jokes.
No, not when Greg tells them.
Well, there you have it. Phyllis needs more poop jokes, Greg.
Give it up for Phyllis. I think we found a new regular. They don't do that crap on special reports. So Americans have been called deplorables, irreparables, racists. Why this hostility? Well, I said it before, as long as Americans are at each other's throats, we can't address the a-holes in power. Our government is like heavily drinking parents on the 4th of July. They hand the kids a box filled with M80s, cherry bombs, quarter sticks of dynamite, and tell them to go outside and have a ball, knowing that will keep them busy. So what if they lose an eye or a hand? If you're a terrorist, you might as well look like one. Let's welcome tonight. Yes. He'll definitely finish in the top 4 panelists tonight. Former Democratic presidential candidate and author of the great new book, Forward, Andrew Yang. This Mercedes is S-Class with S meaning smarty pants. American Conservative Union Foundation Senior Fellow Mercedes Schlap. He has the fashion sense of a 1970s rec room. Fox Across America host Jimmy Fallon. And finally, she's like a young Elizabeth Taylor. Style, beauty, and on her first marriage. Fox News contributor, Kat Tiff. Something just fell out of my mouth. Andrew, welcome to the show, and thank you for the book. It's called Forward. It's odd because I usually read it in reverse. I'm not in the index.
Greg, it's because my first time on the show, you didn't invite me until after the book came out. So you'll be in the next one.
Excellent. That's all that matters. Although I see Jake Tapper is in this book a number of times. Jake Tapper, but not me. Okay, Andrew. You know, the reason why you were so, the reason why you gained so much traction in 2020 debates was that you came off as reasonable compared to the other candidates, right? Is there anything reasonable about these actions? Like if this came up in a debate, how would you distance yourself from the other people?
We're talking about this threat tag.
Yes, threat tag.
I've seen people get threatened. I've been threatened myself. And if you put yourself in the public arena, it's kind of par for the course, you know? But there are folks that are serving in a school board where if they get threatened, they're just not used to it at all. And so you can see that going to some official body and there's like a reaction involved. And then this is something that grows from it. I'll say as a public school parent myself, the legitimate grievance that a lot of parents have is that our schools were closed for too long during COVID. And there's this sense that the teachers' unions and the Democratic Party were looking out for people other than parents and families.
Right. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know what kills me is in their defense, Mercedes, the DOJ or whoever it was, said the tags are normal. They use them for human sex trafficking and drug smugglers. So it's good that you're part of that group.
Well,
right,
I
the
mean,
parent, yeah, we do it for parents too.
Greg, is there like tags online? You go to FBI tags online if you want to order it, and then you just put it on and be like, I've been tagged.
Yeah.
But look, this is an outrage. This is such a dangerous move by the FBI, and the understanding that Merrick Garland is not taking any responsibility, basically saying, I don't know, this hasn't happened, and is just really, he needs to resign. This is a problem we've seen with the FBI. They have politicized time and time again a variety of issues. This has been the last straw, I'll tell you. The parents are outraged. They are done with the fact that you've seen the FBI targeting them. And the mere fact that the National School Board Association coordinated with the White House and multiple agencies, that in and of itself calls for an enormous investigation into what has happened in this case.
Tag them, I say, Kat. You know what?
Yes.
You know what? It's kind of weird because I now have to believe that I was wrong about the Patriot Act. Because when we started the Patriot Act, people were saying, it's only people like Glenn Greenwald and others were saying, like, it's only a matter of time before they use this on Americans. And I'm like, shut up. This is about terrorists.
Right, because obviously the government would never gain power and then abuse it.
No, that didn't happen. Show me that evidence, Kat.
It's never happened, ever. I mean, I've been concerned about it, obviously, this entire time because I am more intelligent than some people at work give me credit for. Thanks.
I'll talk to Hemmer about it.
It's crazy what's happened the past few years that now, parents at school board meetings, it's like lit in there now,
Yeah.
There's like the most boring stuff in the world, and now these parents are dangerous?
Yes.
I gotta say that things have taken quite a turn. But I mean, look, if someone's like truly threatening, like making credible threats against a school board member, I will take a firm stance and make a hot take and say that's bad. But yeah, a parent that is passionate about their child's education, that's not a threat. I think that's normal and good.
You get between them. It is kind of, I mean, the parents must feel pretty good being seen as dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, when was the last time a parent was dangerous? Like, it's very sexy.
Yeah.
They're in their khakis.
Yeah,
They're in their khakis. They got their readers right down here.
Yeah.
But they're as dangerous as James Dean smoking that reefer. Jamie, I'm looking at you.
You are.
I'm looking at you. I'm undressed. You know what? I'm dressing you with my eyes. I'm not undressing you. I'm dressing you because what you're wearing is disgusting.
Well, normally I would have a witty retort, but I want to compliment you tonight.
Oh, why?
I think you stole a nice pair of shoes from that Cabbage Patch doll.
Fair enough. I can take that.
I love you, man. And you know I do. As a parent, this pisses me off. I have one kid, 12-year-old Lincoln Fela, which, by the way, has become a controversial name, so he goes by his middle name, OJ, now. But what we see going on here for real is the left is, I believe, a little scared because they're seeing education. They've had the grip on education, and specifically school boards and the teachers' unions, and they've done so with very little parental oversight. But what happened during the lockdown is parents got access to curriculum in a way they hadn't gotten it before.
Right.
And that's where this pushback comes from, and that's why you see the DOJ getting involved, because they do feel threatened, not physically threatened, but politically threatened by the monopoly they've had on education. And the one thing about threats that drives me crazy, though, is I get them all the time. Obviously, I'm a Fox News radio host. Death threats used to mean something.
Yeah, they used to mean something.
They used to mean something because a person had to work to threaten you. They had to go to a payphone.
Right.
They had to cut letters out of a magazine and paste them together. Now you're like threatening my life from your phone. I don't feel flattered anymore. I'm like, put some care into this, you know?
Now you can just go on Twitter.
But the one thing, and this is what is infuriating as a parent, is they're putting the same tags on parents, as we said, as drug traffickers and human smugglers, which this administration has no problem with coming across our border, but it stops if you go to a school board meeting, and that's where this is.
All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I just want to say, the tough thing today is that the polarization is so high that you don't know what is just a parent spouting off and then something more extreme. And so we have to bring the temperature of the country down.
I agree.
We have to cool off. We have to say, look, we're all Americans. We love each other. And then if someone says something at a school board meeting, you do just blow it off as like, you know, an angry parent. But unfortunately, the political climate makes it hard to be able to tell the difference. And that's what we need to change.
Go tell your party. That sounds like a good
He's not
place.
in the
Start
party.
with
He's not a
Democrat
Democrat.
Party.
I'm a former Democrat. I've been an independent for 5 glorious weeks, and I have to say,
You know what?
horrendous.
That's a good idea for the book, The Great Cool Off. How do you do a national
The climate
cool-off?
change people will not like it.
Yes,
Okay? They're not going to like it.
There is a way, because right now we reward our political representatives for kind of representing more extreme points of view. We got to have them be rewarded if they say something reasonable, centrist and are willing to work with each other.
Now you're just getting boring.
I know. Don't worry. I'll bring it back to something a little bit more.
Yes.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.